Hi, I'm Lorena and welcome to the Stressless Pencil workshop for painting for stress relief. Today we're gonna talk a bit about stress and draw a little mandala to help us kind of channel our stress into something a bit pretty and productive, and to kind of release all that build-up tension that we might have collected over the course of the week or the month or the last year maybe. So I'm just gonna draw while I talk, so you guys can just draw along if you want, or just have a look and then fast forward and draw on your own when you're done. So the thing with mandalas, so mandalas, as you know, are kind of patterns in a circle basically. They've got a long-standing tradition in all different cultures. We see them, for example, in India, in the Hindu traditions, in the Buddhist traditions, and the idea is to kind of focus your attention onto the art that you're making. And if, like in the Buddhist tradition, you're doing it in sand, the idea is also that you're not so attached to the result that you're creating, because it gets destroyed or blown away by the wind shortly after. And that concept is really helpful also when we're thinking about stress, because what we don't want to do is try to sit down and create a piece of art that, in our minds we build it up and it's going to be something amazing, we're going to post it to Instagram, it's going to have 5,000 likes or whatever, and then only to be stressed during the process of making art. So what we really want is to have something that helps us focus our attention, get a bit out of our stressed mind. Maybe our mind worries about the next week, or today it's Sunday, so we all maybe get the Sunday blues and it can get a bit stressful thinking about Monday. So to really focus our mind in the current moment through the art that we're doing, but also without being too attached to what it is we're creating. So that's really the idea of what we're doing today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start drawing, and I've got my oil pastels here. So these are just your generic kind of oil pastels. You can get them anywhere online or in the shops. And what I'm drawing on is actually some pages from a wallpaper sample book, because it's really sturdy. So if I paint on it, it holds up to water and most kinds of materials. So I really enjoy painting and drawing on that, and it's big enough also. So we're gonna start with the most challenging thing at the beginning is for me is drawing a circle. So I'm just gonna because this is a light color, so I'm just gonna draw it in a relatively light color, so I just see kind of the outline and the shape of where I'm going. There's this math teacher online you might have seen who just does like perfect circle. I'm not that person, so it's might be a bit wobbly, but again, we shouldn't care too much about that. So I'm just gonna pick a light gray here, and then I'm gonna go from this top to this in the middle. You might not even be able to see the circle on the camera, it's so light. Up, there we go. And then just kind of a nice, just go around a couple times. A nice little circle here. So you can't see it, but it kind of goes all the way around here, and our middle is should be kind of around here. Yeah. So I didn't pre-plan this or anything, so I'm just going to start in the middle with a color. I'm going to take a dark purple and start doing some shapes. I like painting with oil pastels too, because by their nature they're not very precise instruments. So again, it allows us to just be a bit more relaxed about what it is that we're drawing. Do like a kind of like a star shape here. There's some great videos online of people creating mandalas, and also doing it in sand, which to me is just beautiful, and I'm too clumsy to do that. I think I would just mess the whole thing up in the process of creating it. So I'm gonna do a little something here. And the idea is obviously that it's symmetrical, but to be honest, it doesn't have to be. So if you're just doing mandalas for kind of the energy of it, you can really choose however you want to fill your circle. So some dots here. Maybe color this in. Yep. There we go. I feel like it needs something in the middle, so I'm gonna just do it bright pink. All right, so we've started with some bubbles and some things. I'm gonna just continue that same idea a bit further out from here. And then bridge these things together. So see, as I'm drawing, I'm already worried less about the fact that I'm recording this and then people will be able to see this on the internet, so mission accomplished. Trying to channel my inner Bob Ross. There's no accidents, you know, just happy little, no. What does they say? Oh yeah, there's no mistakes, just happy little accidents. That's kind of the vibe we're going with here as well. If something messes up or isn't like you wanted it to be, then just roll with it. Up. Up. Maybe actually we'll paint these lines in here. Because we don't want just lines, we kind of want also, or at least I do for this one, you might want just lines. But I want big colorful blocky things also. There we go. And then I'm gonna go with I'm kind of also not worrying too much about the palette here, because if you add all the colors, they all go together. Up, what is this? A yellow. Do a bit of a yellow. And maybe a bit of, bring the yellow back down into here, what we started. So if you've read a little bit about like mindfulness and all that, is kind of the main principle is to keep your attention in the present moment, so that you either realize what's happening with your emotions, or that you stop worrying too much or following your thoughts into either the past, because we like to worry a lot about the past, or into the future, because we worry a lot about the future too. I read a thing that said in our kind of passive state, so if we're just lying there not doing anything, our mind goes into planning mode. So it goes into the future and plans the future. That's like our natural state, which is fine, because we kind of need to anticipate and make plans and kind of preempt danger and all these things. That's what made us quite successful as a species, I think, overall. Some more than others. But obviously that can also lead to things that are maybe a bit negative, in terms of if we just keep worrying about what could possibly go wrong, obviously that builds up stress in the body. And that's the kind of stress we want to get rid of, because if you have too much of that, then at some point that's not great. There's a great thing I read which said if you're worried or if you're anxious, obviously a little anxiety is normal, because we're like trying to avoid bad things happening, but at some point there's just a point where your brain just keeps going over and over and over the same things, And the thing I read is that there's no point in that because you can't think your way out of it. Like at some point you've considered all the possible scenarios, all the eventualities, and your brain just keeps trying to think to stop that feeling of stress and anxiety. And so it just keeps like trying to solve the problem that's not happened yet. So there's obviously nothing really to solve here. So it's it gets kind of stuck in a loop and ruminates, and then there's no thinking your way out of that. So the best thing to do is just try to focus your mind on something else, like for example making a mandala. And some dots here. Give me some dots. Color these in. Starting to look like something. I think that we can follow a round of dots a bit on the outside. I mean, obviously there's like some really intricate mandalas with amazing patterns, but that's not what we're going for here today because they're gorgeous. And maybe these ones we can fill them into it with a different color. What's this color? Pink. Pink is my daughter's favorite color. I don't know why. It just keeps happening. There we go. Oh, what is this dot? Here, I made an extra dot where there's no dot on the others, that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replicate that here. Rolling with the flow. No mistakes. There we go. Okay, so now we need something between those circles. One thing we haven't done yet, geometrically speaking, is triangles. I think that could look good. Yeah, I do worry a little bit about how it looks, but it's not that I'm gonna beat myself up if it's not like a masterpiece. But who are we kidding? Everything I create is a masterpiece. It's not true. But if you're just doing it for yourself, then you know, then it is. All right, purple. Like we've already had purple. My hand went to purple, so I go with purple. It's another thing. Sometimes you just gotta trust your instincts and not overthink it too much. If your hand goes to the purple, if your hand takes the purple, just grab the purple and go with it. Alright. So. And then we can color those in as well with some color, like blue. I really love oil pastels. Like, I mean, this is a more controlled environment, but with oil pastels you can also just like go crazy. Just let it all out. There we go. Nice light blue. And then the thing we can do is just to bring kind of some of the colors that we're adding on the outside. If you bring them back into the inside, if you have some space somewhere, then that kind of nicely binds the whole thing together visually. Oh, whoop, oh, whoop. Maybe even in the center here. Fill all the gaps. All the gaps. Okay. There go. Next color. Put some green. How about some green? I use these quite a lot, so I have to keep peeling off the little paper. It's a love mandala, love shot, baby. I should really taste the music also. Imagine sorry, I keep thinking about Bob Ross. And now music, imagine Bob Ross the musical. That'd be fantastic. And you would have like a ballet of happy little trees dancing. Yes. Alright. There we go, beautiful heart. Cute! And then I'm gonna fill this in with some lighter shade of green. Apparently I use this a lot because this is all I have left. Yep. There we go. There we go. And maybe we can bring some of that green into here. Yes. Yes. All right. Next layer. There's layers to the shit player, tiramisu. Sorry, it's one of my favorite lines. It's poetry, really, if you think about it. So, we got some orange here in the middle that I'm gonna just use again here. Maybe some like drop type things. A drop over all the dots we've made. Maybe like an inverted drop. Does that make sense on the other side? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, the heart's purple again. Yep. Here, coming out of this. There we go. Ah, nice. All right, so let's fill in the drops. Maybe the orange drops will fill in with yellow. Bright, happy colors, always. If you do want to do yours in black and white, please do. I just realized I always try to start off with like a palette or something, you know, like a selection of colors that make sense together. And then I just end up adding all the colors. Rainbow the whole thing. And we're gonna paint in the purple, baby pink. Beauty. A beauty, if I may say so myself. And then we're gonna do like a thing here. Ooh. Whoa. Swirls. So here and then here. And then ooh, big swirl. Whoop. Oop. Yeah, they go from the top of the yellow to the bottom of the heart here so I don't mess it up when I go upside down. Up. Up. There we go. Very nice. And then I'm gonna do some dot stuff in here. How are we doing on time? Yeah, got a bit more time. How is she running out of time on a YouTube video, you wonder? It's like, well, my SD card can only take so much. No, I don't wanna make this too long of a session either. We want to get to painting, not just watch me do my thing here. All right, looking good, looking good. And then we can do, ooh, we can just bring out like 3 water drops type things. I love some water drops. And I think then we're almost at our outer layer also. Yep. So, splash. I think you could do a great mandala just doing drops also. Over here. All right. And then we just need, I think, a little gap filler here. Orange. And up here. And then a last little round of cute hearts, I think. The drops, and I'm calling this drops and hearts and whatnots. It's catchy. And in between. And already I'm a lot more relaxed. And all I'm worried about is drawing little hearts and little splashes, which is a very nice thing to worry about. And worry is not even the right word for it. All right. There we go. What do you think? Does it look finished? I think it looks finished. All right. So that's me. There you have it. Here's my little mandala for stress relief. On this beautiful Sunday afternoon for me. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you are creating a beautiful mandala yourselves that relaxes you and makes you happy. And don't forget, I publish a weekly newsletter with art prompts for stress relief and mental health and much, much more. I'm putting the link in the comment section, so have a look and sign up, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!